ladies and gentlemen. This is the first in a series that isn't going to have this rambling intro, but I had originally recorded this episode for I Can't Shut Up Unless You Tell Me To, but I'm kind of getting to the point with that where it's like I'd prefer that series to have minimum 10 to 15 minute long content that you can listen to. The quick little things like this, I think, not only do they, require different ad reads or different, ad requirements due to the length, with Spreaker and what it's doing, plus with shorter episodes like these, they're good for YouTube and they're good for, I prefer to only have post rolls for as far as ads are concerned with shorter episodes like these, but I want to start doing the gaming news updates. A good friend of mine, one of my best friends in the whole world, Anthony, told me once he was listening to an episode of HIMedia Headlines back when that was still a thing. And one of his biggest frustrations was I was talking about gaming news and stuff like that, and he was really into it, and then I switched to politics, and it was a really heavy stuff, and it was really fucking jarring because I got really fucking passionate about it all at once. So this is kind of like the solution to that, where I can do the same format as I do the news thing. It requires, probably 10 minutes of my time. If I don't see any headline news that I think is worth chit-chatting about, that's of stuff that's either in the mainstream or outside of it. This is a semi-daily series. Sometimes it takes 48 hours for the news cycle to cycle around to something interesting that's worth talking about that is important and I have to talk about it, or it wasn't getting covered otherwise, and I get to share some news with you guys that isn't aware. One of the things that I'm also trying to get better at is also saying the name and the name of the author I'm reading from, as well as the outlet it's from. That way it's easier for you guys to find it after the fact, and I'm also giving proper credit where credit is due, because it's important in that regard to give the source who I'm reading these from and things of that nature. I'm expanding the possible people I'm getting more information out to people who otherwise wouldn't have had known to look for those articles. So I want to make sure that I want to support journalists, even if it's gaming journalists. I just think that's important. So, with all that being said, I've gone on for about 3 minutes now. Let's get into the gaming headlines of the day. Firstly, the Top Racer collection. It's the brakes on the Switch, delayed to March 2024. A false start for the classic SNES racing series by Jim Norman at Nintendo Life. After being revealed last October, the publisher Cubite Interactive has today announced that the Top Racer collection will no longer be coming to Switch later this month, but will instead be returning to the pit lane until March the 7th, 2024. The collection comprises of 3 SNES titles in the Top Gear series, albeit with the license-free Top Racer title. Top Gear 2, and Top Gear 3000. It also includes a crossover series with Horizon Chase, Top Gear Crossroads. All of this was set to come our way on the 11th of January, but Cubite has made the decision to delay the collection so they can enhance the experience for everyone and refine all the classic and exclusive modes. While it's never nice to see a delay, we'd much rather see a game taken to the garage for a few extra weeks than to be sent out to the track in an unfit state, and I wholeheartedly agree. I think this is a great idea. I will never be upset at a delay. What's the harm in waiting a little while longer for something you were anticipating, so long as the thing that you're getting is better than you were hoping? Next up, we have 2, 3 from Rock Paper Shotgun, written by Edwin Evans Thurwell. MapleStory publisher Nexus fined record $8.9 million, adjusted from I believe it's won to US dollar, for misleading consumers about loot box mechanics. The Korean publisher Nexus have been fined $11 8.6 billion won, which is around $8.9 million adjusted for USD, for secretly altering the drop rates of coveted items in free-to-play MMO gacha game MapleStory. The fine, issued by the Korea Fair Trade Commission, Korea's FTC, obviously it's in the name, that was a stupid commentary on my part, sorry, is the largest penalty ever doled out for violation of South Korea's Act on Consumer Protection in Electronic Commerce. As reported by the Korean Economic Daily, the KFTC has say that over the past decade or so, Nexus has lowered the probability of players drawing certain character equipment when spending cash on cubes in MapleStory. Each cube sells for about 2,000 won, about $1.50 under current conversion rates, and they all have different effects. But according to the report, they all had the same probability of dropping back in May of 2010. But when Nexus introduced the cube mechanic, but from September 2010, however, Nexus began fiddling with the odds of certain cubes appearing. Between August of 2011 and March of 2021, the company are said to have changed the probability structure that certain much desired options don't appear at all. In the same period, Nexus raked in billions from sales of cubes. Not only did the company fail to notify players of the changes, the KFTC alleges that in August of 2011, Nexus outright told players that no such changes had been made. I want to be very clear, MapleStory is one of the oldest and most profitable gacha games in the world. $9 million roughly as a fine is just the cost of doing business. They're going to continue doing this, mark my words. But lastly, to end on a more happy note, somebody made a Portal demake. Portal 64 is an N64 demake of Valve's classic, now available as a first slice, by Kevin Purdy from Ars Technica. James Lambert has spent years making something with no practical reason to exist, a version of Portal that runs on the N64, and not some 2D version either, but the real blue and orange oval see yourself sideways Portal experience. And now he has a first slice of Portal 64 ready for anyone who wants to play it, and it's out of beta, and it's free. The first slice means that 13 of the original game's test chambers are finished, and Lambert intends to get all the original's 19 chambers done. PC Gamer, who were the first to see the project, suggests that Lambert might also try to get the additional 14 levels from the Xbox Live only Portal still alive. So, anywho, as far as the Portal is concerned, and this is me talking, not Mr. Purdy from Ars Technica, I'm probably going to end up downloading and streaming this because I very much enjoyed Portal, and I also deeply enjoyed the Bloodborne remake, even though I have yet to finish it. I still have to finish fighting Father Gaston. But I'm happy to pull this up on stream for a night and play this for a few hours. That would be a ton of fun. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Or, at me on Blue Sky or Twitter or something. But yes, that is today's gaming news. I am obviously a little more loosey-goosey with the readings here. The news, I feel I can be more myself when talking about the gaming stuff. I try to keep my own personal opinions and politics out of the news podcast, just because I know that I have a very diverse community of people who have diverse opinions about politics. So, I think being a little more opinionated with the gaming stuff is a good outlet for me. But anywho, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. This has been Nerd News. I think the name's growing on me, but I've been your host, and I will see you guys next time. If you are listening on your podcasting app, please consider sticking around for post rolls. It helps the show. And if you are watching on YouTube, comment down below and let me know your opinions. Are you going to try the new Portal 64 remake, and are you bummed out about the delay for the Top Gear collection coming out? Or are you MapleStory player? Is this something good for you, or do you think you're just going to keep getting shafted? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to know. Have a lovely rest of your day, everybody.